It's already begun. 35-year-old Congolese man Yves Sekila was killed in broad daylight after a suspected shoplifting. Suspected. He was running away from the scene after being chased by white Irish security guards, and on the way he knocked into a man who fell over and injured themselves. He was then restrained, held down, and he lost his life. With knees on his head and his neck, he died of asphyxiation. They're already trying to paint this man as a criminal, saying that he's done all of these things in his past, and there is nothing to prove this. We are constantly fighting the right in their racism.
Good morning. I'm making this video to talk to you about what's happened since, and what's going to happen. So what we know is on Friday, May 15th, a Congolese man was killed on Henry Street in Dublin, Ireland. He is suspected to have died from asphyxiation. There's a video circulating online which shows a number of people who seem to be security guards holding a man to the floor, pinning him on the ground. They're using their hands, their bodies and their knees. And part of the video shows a man putting his knee on the head and neck area of the man who has died. So what has happened since is a number of people from the Congolese community, from the broader African community and from the broader ally community have gotten together to talk about how we're going to respond to this. So what's going to happen now is there's going to be a vigil today between 12 and 2 outside of the store where this is alleged to have happened on Henry Street. There's then going to be a protest on Thursday between 1 and 3, which is a broader protest where we're calling people together to just show that this is wrong and that no human being should have to go through this.
A man in Dublin lost his life today by being pinned down, 6 security officers. He couldn't breathe anymore. Funny that I never heard during those Dublin riots that anybody lost their life. A man was allegedly robbing in Dublin city centre when 3 security officers decided to pin him down to reprimand him. 100% within a security officer's job to do that. What the problem is that those security officers did not check to see if that man was breathing. Don't understand how 6 men need to pin down 1 man and see the life literally drain out of his soul. At no point did any of those security officers say, that's enough. When he wasn't resisting, when he wasn't moving, did anyone just turn around and say, do you know what? Okay, maybe one of us can get up. You can see by one of the security officers who makes the phone call, his hands are shaking because he knows that he's gone too far. Allegedly, there's an older man that has been hospitalized due to a broken leg over this incident, which is also a horrible thing to hear.
Never in my 36 years of living in the north of Ireland, have I ever heard of a white person being killed for shoplifting. So there's that.
We cannot be less than human. And human is that people stood around and watched and were taking, he was a content. You know, that's what upset me the most. He became content. We saw this in 2020 and we thought, okay, you know what? People would have learned by now. And you know, when you see injustice, you would stand up. You would stand up. There were more of you. There was no weapon. There was no immediate danger. Do you understand? Why would we watch that long and not do something? Please, I'm making this cry out to everybody who is listening to me. Do not watch injustice. Do not watch it. It's not you today, but it could be your brother. It could be your nephew. It could be your niece. This is something we used to say it was other places. Now it's right here in our yard, right here in our own country. One of the key things is the right to be safe. Safety. Do you understand? Like, you shouldn't leave your home and not be sure you will come back home. I cannot live a life where my children go out, I'm worried and I'm texting them. So what justice looks like for us really is for our government as a nation, for us to stand against and make sure that, you know, all of this is stamped out immediately. People are talking about, you know, a crime. We have a system of operation. We don't operate jungle justice. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. And as a nation, we pride ourselves as a nation of equality. We pride ourselves that, you know, we do the right thing, fairness. Look at our constitution. Fairness and justice is right in there.
Racism in Ireland is getting so much worse. The fact that a black Congolese man has been murdered by the hands of police for shoplifting. You would never see a white man in this country or in the world be murdered for a crime as small as shoplifting. Ever. Every person on this island would be out on the streets screaming their heads off, protesting like fuck. White man was murdered. And I bet you if it was one of the men who are protect our country, protect Ireland, keep Ireland white who was murdered, you would see people going, fuckers, a black man has been murdered. Why am I not seeing this all over social media? Why am I not seeing this all over the news? It is absolutely catastrophic.
So ladies and gentlemen, I'm trusting that you're all doing well today and welcome to the channel. So guys, I'm hoping that you all remember that video of George Floyd. That was back then in 2020, 2019. Actually, when we had COVID and things like those, that time was one of the hardest times, especially for the first world country, the third world countries. The whole world was hit. But now I'm talking about the incident. That incident was unlawful, it was inhuman and all that. So in this particular arena, like we're in 2026, and most of the time, your parents, you know, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, or even your kids could leave a country to go to a certain country, basically for greener pastures, I would say so, or rather they're going to for higher education and things like those. So I'm talking about Ireland, which is one of the European countries, but it's not part of the Schengen regions. And Ireland has been there for such a long time. It is one of the countries that people believe there is a lot of diversity because there's a lot of investors coming from each and every country for investment purpose because of the Silicon Valley. Yeah, it's a good country. It's been praised about the technology and all that. So each and every person who is maybe willing to go and do things to do with computer science, something like that, most of them, they normally opt for Ireland. But that is not the case. The country has been tainted. The country does not present what it presents itself. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that video of Yves, Shakila Yves. So this particular person, this is a black man who is a Congolese, and the police had like a miscommunication, or rather maybe what they were looking for they did not get. So allegedly this man or rather maybe they thought that had shoplifted, and apparently they're not even sure. So you remember when the police put George Floyd down and then they kind of stepped on his neck? That is the same thing that has happened to Yves. And it's something that is in question because tell me, most of the creators, especially in this video, are saying they've witnessed people shoplifting in Ireland, Dublin, and they were never like killed or murdered. And they're just like, is this something to do with racism? Is it something to do with racial profiling? Is it something, because it's never stopping? And then what is more disturbing and irritating is that now it becomes a content. People are actually filming and all that, and most creators are saying, like, when you see injustice, you need to step forward and try to navigate about it. I get it, because you've known, or rather you've seen police brutality. It's really bad. So sometimes people could take videos so that the authorities could see and they could come for the rescue. So I don't know, it's 2026 and I'm like, can we just stop it? So most people are asking themselves, like, in the whole world, will a black person ever be safe? So ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're new here, my name is Yvonne. Put your opinion down the comments, and you are welcome also to being part of my online family. And guys, the only way you can support me is you subscribing to this video so that I be bringing you premium content. Until next time.